All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're back. And what I've done is I've turned this mapping into a set of ordered pairs and into a table. And we're looking at this, and I want to know, is this mapping a function or not a function? And a lot of you are going to hone in on this piece right here. All three of these map to the same number. Okay, but remember, we're not talking about each output being unique. We're talking about each output being unique for each individual x. Okay? For every x value, I can only have one output. Now, if several x's have the same output, that's okay, because it's just one output. Okay? So, yes, this one will be a function. It is a function. Okay? Because 4 only maps to 6. It doesn't map somewhere else. 2 only maps to 6. It doesn't map to another number as well. Okay, so that one's okay. Now the last thing we're going to do is take a look at some graphs. Okay, there is a very easy way. Okay, there's a very easy way to tell on a graph if a relation is a function. But in order to understand why this works, let's take a look at some that we know are not functions. Okay, or 1. Okay, and I want to look at, let's say we have the x value 2, and it maps to y value 2 and 3. Okay, that x value is going to map to both of these. So we know that 2 doesn't have exactly one unique output, so this thing is not a function. Okay, but I also want to look at this in a graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph this guy. And at the x, here's our x, here's our y. At the x value of 2, right, at this value, okay, we have an ordered pair 2, comma 2, and 2, comma 3. Okay, at the x value 2, I have an output, or a y value of 3. And at the x value 2, I have an output of 2. Okay, so there are my two outputs for this one input. Now if I draw a vertical line here, how many points on that graph does it touch? 2. Okay, it touches 2 points because the x value 2 gives you 2 different outputs. Okay, 2 ordered pairs. So this will fail the vertical line test. And therefore, it is not a function. Okay. So if we go back to this original graph I gave you under relation, okay, and we look at this guy, okay, you see the mapping, the table, and then we go over to the relation, okay, the relation, and you draw a vertical line here, anywhere on the graph. It touches there and there. So we know that this relation is not a function because it touches that vertical line twice in 2 different spots, meaning for this x value, this relation has 2 different outputs, 2 y values. Okay, so I know that one's not a function. Let's take, what if we look at, I'm just going to draw some random graphs and we'll look at those. Okay, what if we look at this guy? Is this guy a function? Well, if I draw a vertical line anywhere on this thing, and it only touches in one spot, then yes, it is a function. Okay, right here, same thing. It only touches in one spot. So, this one is a function. But if you look at this graph, we turn it sideways, Now, over here at the very bottom, it may touch just once. But if I shift that line over a little bit, it's going to touch twice. Okay, so this one is not a function because it fails the vertical line test. All right, so that's function, not a function. We've looked at how to know whether it's a function from a mapping, from a set of ordered pairs, from a table, and now you've also seen how to tell if it's a function from a graph. Okay, vertical line test. If it touches that graph twice, if it touches that line or curve twice anywhere, it's not a function. All right. Here is a gander or look at my notes for this part. And if you're having trouble seeing it, what I would do is snap a picture, do a screenshot, and then zoom in. Here's the second page. We can zoom in a little bit. Here's the third page.